Hey there everyone, Jake at OneManBand here, and you know what time it is. It is time for the Q&A special! That is right, it has come to that time of the year again where it's my anniversary when I first got on YouTube, and it's also around the time of my birthday. My birthday happened about a week ago. Yay! So anyway, how I'm gonna go about doing this, all you guys posted in comments on my videos, all your different questions that you wanted to ask me, and what I did is I kind of numbered them, and then I put them in my Mickey Mouse Darth Vader helmet thing, and I'm basically just gonna draw out and then ask the questions. So let's get started, shall we? Looking. First question. Time to look it up. If you were trapped in one anime, what would you be trapped in? That is an excellent question, because I honestly have no idea. The thing about animes is that if you're not really... there's no guarantee that if I was trapped in an anime that I would be, like, the main character, if I would be even connected to the main story. I could just be some nameless yahoo sitting on his couch watching the news where it's like, oh, giant robots, whatever. So, but if I was part of the immediate action, I would probably die. I mean, if I was just me, I'd probably die. But if I was giving at least a fighting chance, I'd probably say... maybe like something along the lines of Soul Eater, somewhere along those lines, where it's like I could at least like learn how to like be cool, stuff like that. So maybe like Soul Eater, maybe Ruby, somewhere along those lines. Because if I was like in Sword Art Online or something, I'd probably just end up dying because I'm too much of a nice guy. But then again, that one guy from Cat Planet Cuties does have a very strong resemblance to my face. It was weird. It was like I was staring into a mirror. Next question. Which would you choose? To be stuck in an anime where you have a harem, but are oblivious to love and have crazy and outlandish things happen to you and your harem, or be stuck in the real world? Bro, I'm already stuck in the real world. So obviously I would choose the other option. I mean, I don't know, maybe it'd be kind of fun to have outlandish weird things happen to you. But then again, it'd probably be really hazardous to my health. And to the whole thing of being oblivious to the whole love factor from the harem, there is one thing I have learned from like playing video games and watching anime. If somebody as dense as Hishio from Karawa Shoujo could eventually take a hint, then I think I would eventually take a hint after a certain amount of time. And besides, having girls around me having feelings for me and being kind of oblivious to that, wouldn't that kind of make me the doctor? I leave the rest of the assuming up to you. Okay, here is a question for you. If you could have the Ruby characters cross over with anyone and fight them, who would it be? Ah, that is hard, actually. Let's see, let me think. Obviously, it would have to be with somebody who would actually be able to stand up to Ruby's way of fighting and, but not overpower them. I would probably have to go with Soul Eater. Like the cast from Soul Eater fight the cast from Ruby. I think that'd be pretty friggin' awesome. But aside from that, I can't really think of anything that like, ooh, I would love to see Team Ruby take on a Titan. That would be cool. Question next! Are there any games you want to play in the future? I have a few games actually planned out for the future once I get done with the things I'm doing right now. For all of you who don't know, I'm going to be going through Karawa Shoujo again. You guys voted. I'm going to be going down Lily's route. So hopefully that's going to be a little less crazy than Emmy's route. But here's hoping it'll be fun. I also have another pixel horror game lined up. It's called The Sandman. I'm really looking forward to that one. Ah, yes, and Alien Isolation. It's basically going to be Amnesia in space with an alien. I'm going to be peeing myself playing that game, but at least you guys will be entertained, right? On to the next one. Would you be willing to collab Let's Plays with other people/YouTubers? Of course I would. I would love to do stuff like that. But the dilemma of mine is the friends that I have, the immediate friends, they're not really into that whole thing. So getting them to do this with me is pretty hard. And as for getting other YouTubers to collab, I have done it a few times with Razumafu. There's a whole playlist of a few videos that we did together. But honestly, the internet at my house isn't very all that good. It is not good at all. So, but I would love to at least try to like get a hold of people. Maybe even you guys. If you guys like want to think about doing a Let's Play together, man, I'm not entertaining by myself. By all means, let's do it right now. Let's get together and do a Let's Play. Question that is next. Could you do a review on Hanayuko Maid Team? I would really appreciate it. Ah, yes, the famous dilemma, the great dilemma of me and anime. Here's the thing. I would love to do a review on every single anime I've watched, but it's hard. I mean, compiling data on an entire anime and then putting a video together. I mean, I barely get by doing all the Ruby stuff that I do. And I got a long list of animes I want to watch, but I will say to that question, it is a definite maybe about me doing a review, in-depth look on that anime. I mean, you've just given me another anime that I have to watch, so let's just, first we watch it, then we think about making a review on it. That's how I'm gonna go about things from now on, because watching an anime solely to do a review on it, it's kind of just taking the fun out of it, so I kind of just want to watch the anime and then think about doing a review about it later. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say right now. Next question! Have you watched the anime Hetalia and Fruits Basket? I think it's and or actually, but or/and I guess it works. To answer your question, no, I have not watched either of those anime, but Hetalia, however you pronounce that, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, I have heard great things about that anime, how it's a lot of people's like favorites, and how they watched it when they were kids and stuff like that, so that's definitely on my watch list, and Fruits Basket actually was mentioned to me by a friend. He was talking about how, like, oh yeah, there's this anime and it's kind of weird and stuff like that, and it's like, it's nothing I haven't heard of before with anime. But definitely those are on my watch list. Watch list right here, you know. It's sad. And with Ruby coming up, I'm just gonna have less time to watch these anime. But on to the next question. If you had to be a character in an RPG besides the protagonist, mind you, who would you be? Villains and their minions are allowed. Ah, that is the real question, isn't it? Me, I haven't personally played all that many RPGs in my life. I mean, I've played I would say a decent amount, but it's like I haven't played the Final Fantasy games or anything like that. And before you burn me at the stake, let me just tell you this. At a young age, I wasn't really interested in the Final Fantasy games, and as of right now, I don't really have the time to go back and play them, because they're just way too long. The only one I would consider playing is Final Fantasy VII, for obvious reasons. But as for being a character in an RPG, I would probably go with Garrus Vakarian from Mass Effect. Just because, out of the original cast, he was my favorite, besides Rex. But Garrus, I mean, he was a sniper guy, he was kind of a rebel, but he still had like morals and stuff like that. And I just instantly took a liking to Garrus's character, so as of right now, I'd say Garrus Vakarian, but that can change in the future just like everything else can. Next question! When and how did you first get into Rooster Teeth? Alrighty, time for me to tell you guys my life story. When I first got into Rooster Teeth, it was through Red vs. Blue. I was in the 8th grade or 7th grade. It was 8th grade. Yes, it was in the 8th grade. I was part of some higher echelon math class, whatever. So we took our courses online, and we had like some free time in the computer lounge because it was only like 6 of us. And YouTube was blocked, obviously, but one thing that wasn't blocked was Google Video. You guys remember that, huh? Do you remember Google Video? Because I do. Anyway, I would get bored, you know, doing the math lessons and blah, blah, blah. So I went on Google Video, and I would occasionally, like, look up stuff, and by occasionally, I mean all the time. And I had remembered hearing about Red vs. Blue about 2 years ago. So I was just like, well, I don't know, it's something to look at, and I've looked at music videos for the last 2 days. So I typed in Red vs. Blue, and the very first episode I watched was, I'm not sure what episode number it was, but it was the episode where Church is introducing Sister to Blue Base. And after watching that, after holding in all that laughter, I was hooked. And so, after school, I ran to my friends and was like, guys, you need to take a look at what I found on the internet! And then, I blew through the Blood Gulch Chronicles through that summer, and by the time Reconstruction started to come out, not Reconstruction, the 6th season. Is that Reconstruction? No. Whatever. By the time season 6 started to come out, I was all caught up and I started to watch that, and that's when they started to also come out with like the Rooster Teeth shorts and stuff like that. So it started with Red vs. Blue, Rooster Teeth shorts started to come out, and then like the Achievement Hunter stuff, all that stuff that just started exploding. So I first got into Red vs. Blue when I was in 8th grade, and from there I was put into the whole Rooster Teeth fan base. So that answers that question. Which would you rather have, a tsundere girlfriend that only you can see, or a yandere girlfriend who, with some possible homicidal tendencies? You're really asking this question, aren't you? Now, as for a girlfriend that only I can see, does that mean she just hides from other people, or she doesn't technically exist? Because if she doesn't technically exist, I wouldn't really consider a real girlfriend. It's kind of mean to say, but still, it'd be like, oh yes, I have a girlfriend. Well, where is she? Oh, you can't see her. You're crazy, man. But as for the whole having a girlfriend with homicidal tendencies, I've watched The Future Diary. Mirai Nikki, I think it's the original Japanese name is. And I had a hard time trying to discern when Yuno's actions were crazy or endearing. So I think in the end, I would rather take the girl that I can at least show people. I mean, because the question said possible homicidal tendencies. And who doesn't have those, really? I mean, when you get mad at somebody, don't you just want to punch them a little bit? Please agree with me. On to the next one. Of all the Ruby weapons, which would you most want, and which one would you think would be most practical in real life? Well, in real life, that's pretty hard because I ain't no warrior, and we use way too complex machinery, weapon things nowadays. So, I'm not sure which one would be the most practical in, like, the modern day, but the one that I would want, and these are just from the ones that we've seen so far, I would probably want Pyrrha's weapon, Milo, because it's like, it's 3 in 1. It's a rifle, it's a spear, it's a sword, and those are all really cool weapons in my book, so, and I could probably wield it with enough ease. I mean, there's Crescent Rose, Ruby's sniper scythe, but I don't think I could easily just carry that around and use easily. But let's remember that there's still other weapons that are going to be introduced in Volume 2, so I'm going to keep that whole part of my mind open. But as of right now, it would be a Milo, Pyrrha's spear, sword, rifle thing. Question next! This question is not Ruby related, but still RT related. What did you think about Red vs. Blue Season 12, Episode 10? And what is your favorite tune in Ruby? Alrighty. For all of you who haven't watched Red vs. Blue Season 12, Episode 10, I'd probably advise you go do that right now. But onto my thoughts about it. Honestly, as Season 12 progressed, I started to feel very suspicious about Felix and Locust, what they were all doing. And so when it came down to Felix's betrayal, it didn't really surprise me all that much. It did surprise me, however, to have Carolina there, because I thought Carolina was going to be sort of a bad guy, but once you start to think about it, it actually makes sense, because back at the end of Season 10, when she was talking to Church about how some people have gotten a hold of some hardware that wasn't theirs, she was talking probably about Felix and Locust. So she's probably hunting them down, and she was just playing them at the end of Season 11 when she was pretending to be Control. So I think we should just be happy that the team is back together, and now we have 2 really scary enemies to look forward to seeing. Next question! What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative. In all seriousness, which team are you most hyped to see more of? And I'm guessing that you're talking about Ruby. Well, that answer is obvious. I want to see more of Team Coffee. That is what I am really looking for in Volume 2. I mean, there's Sun's team and all that, and there's probably some other teams that are going to be made up as the show goes along. But honestly, as of right now, Team Coffee, they are the mystery factor in Ruby right now. Not much is known about them, and we have yet to really see them together as a whole. So I kind of want to see them, see how their chemistry works, how their fighting style works, and yeah, basically that's it, Team Coffee. But anyway, I think that's going to end it for our first question and answer segment. It went better than I thought. I think I got more questions than I was actually prepared for. And you guys asked some pretty awesome questions, honestly. I mean, there were a few that were kind of out there and kind of got me thinking, but a lot of them were really cool, really good. Good job, you guys! And with that, guys, I'm gonna have to end the video here. Like and favorite if you've enjoyed, subscribe. Of course, next Ruby review, it's gonna be about Team Coffee. I'm hoping to get that out to you guys before the Volume 2 of Ruby starts up. So, still gonna be putting out those Let's Plays out to you guys. I know you guys probably don't enjoy them as much, but hey, my bread and butter, right? I gotta keep you guys occupied somehow in between the whole Ruby review things. So anyway, you guys are awesome. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.
Hey there, everybody. Don't forget to check out some of my Let's Plays. Here's a couple of them appearing on the left here. And also, don't forget to look at my Ruby reviews and my side project, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood Abridged. Links are in the description as well as in the annotations on the pictures. Go ahead and enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.